The interesting part is we got into the personal insults. That was the question. You guys have a great story in the New York Times today about the Republican establishment suddenly panicking. Oh, well, what have they been watching? What have they been watching for the last few months if they suddenly woke up? It was 10 debates in before Marco Rubio decides to go after Donald Trump. Now, there's a lot of it's the personal insults, but he did try, which I think is, if you're going to do it, this is what they should have done from the beginning, try to disqualify him as a Republican. There was some policy before he got so personal.
So that's the only part of the plan? Just the lines, the interstate
well,
competition?
No, the nice part about the plan, you have many different plans. You'll have competition. You'll have so many different plans.
But now he's repeating himself.
No, I'm not repeating. No. I don't repeat myself. You don't repeat yourself. Here's the guy who repeats himself.
It says 5 things. Everyone's dumb.
Senator
He's going to
Rubio.
make America great
Senator
again.
Rubio.
We're going to win.
Senator
He's
Rubio,
winning in the
please.
polls.
It's all true.
And the
Please
lines around the state. Every night. Same thing.
It was more than feisty, and there was the health going after him on health care there. There was some substance to that. Again, the question is, why did they wait 10 debates to do it? But it is clear, if you watched Trump yesterday, if Rubio succeeded at anything, it's getting under his skin. Trump gave a long, rambling answer about the lawsuits against Trump University. He's obviously firing back in the personal. The question is it too little too late?
I think it is, at least for Super Tuesday. I mean, the problem with some of these candidates is now, especially with Rubio, he had a lot of good material that he was throwing at Trump. It's not as though the material was bad, but he was just throwing the kitchen sink at him all in one night. And I was talking to a Democrat who sort of specializes in rolling out these attacks, and they said, there is an art to this. There's a way that you build a case against someone. You don't just hit voters with all of this information and then say, go home and Google it to learn more.
But in some ways, I think, if you talk to 7 or 8 Trump supporters, they may tell you 7 or 8 different reasons as to why they like Donald Trump. And you heard Donald Trump there say that he is the messenger. And I think Rubio was trying 7, 8, or 9 different messages to disqualify him. He's got the con artist thing. He's not sticking up for the little guy. He's got a bad spray tan. He wet his pants. He's not as rich as he says he is. So in some ways, I think they have to do that because there's so many entry points into Donald Trump. So they're trying to question all of them.
One fast point, it probably is too late to catch Trump on Super Tuesday with this sort of kitchen sink barrage, but it might not be too late to catch Ted Cruz. And that's what I think that Marco is doing. He's not trying to beat Trump in some of these states. He's trying to sort of get into the conversation, create the perception of a two-man race so that he can top Cruz in Alabama, in Georgia, in Arkansas, and say to Ted on Wednesday, look, your strategy was the Deep South on Super Tuesday. I beat you in all of those states,
but the question will be,
for Texas.
He'll have to start actually winning these states for Rubio. I mean, he's been wanting to stay in the top tier all along. He'll have to start in what will be incredibly critical is March 15th, Florida.
Is Ted still in the race?
If Cruz is still in the race, but if Rubio does not win Florida March 15th, which is a winner-take-all state, it's hard to see.
Rationale gets hard for running. I did the delegate math last night, and even if Rubio after March 15th were to win everywhere, he would pass Trump if he won everywhere in a two-man race, but he wouldn't clinch the nomination before the convention unless he also wins Florida. So Florida is very important.